And where's your first stop for any new Knights coach in Newcastle?
Triple M, and we have
Teniers, definitely.
we have the new Knights coach Adam O'Brien in the studio to get to know. G'day, Adam.
G'day guys, thanks for having me.
Boo.
Welcome.
By the way.
Oh, yeah.
Boo.
Those red eyes, Teniers put them in for Halloween.
They are not my normal eyes, so apologies.
Yes, I did think that you'd had a late night or a good night.
Yeah.
Good night, yeah.
Yeah, I'm usually the one with the smash jaffers.
Adam, welcome to Newcastle. We just found out that you actually haven't spent a lot of time here before you moved here after the grand final.
No, I hadn't. Only obviously competing against the Knights over the years. Was about the only time I'd spent, any time in Newcastle. I'll admit, where they put you up these days as the opposition team up there at the Novotel next to the beach. I think where someone informed me the other day the V8s are going to go around up that way.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful part of the world. But I knew enough about the place. It suits me and my wife. We're country coastal people. We were born... I was born in Batemans. Well, I was born in Goulburn, but grew up from the age of 3 in Batemans Bay, and my wife's from Ulladulla. So we were coastal country, so we knew that it was going to be a good fit for us.
Well, particularly too, welcome to the least judgmental fans of a one-team town. You'll find it a breeze. None of us are judgmental or yell at the coach. In fact, you've been a coach for nearly a week now. What have you done? You've done bloody nothing. But you had that experience, I guess, to a degree with Melbourne. Really, didn't you, as in that one-team town?
Yeah, exactly. The Storm down there are obviously on their own in that sort of market. Very passionate fans. I wouldn't say, I don't think there's anyone more passionate than the Knights fans. So, look, I clearly understand the nature of the business. As I said to the guys a little bit earlier, if you're going to accept the pats on the back, you need to accept the kicks up the backside.
Adam, it is interesting because Newcastle, we have, as you quite rightly said, we've got this history of being very, very passionate, but at the same time, very encouraging. And we have always been, whatever coach has come to this town, have walked away going, the fans, incredible. And you will find that too. Like everyone will be willing to get on board and give you a year or two to get it together, in all honesty. Don't you reckon?
That's provided you have the warmth of Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I completely agree. I think passion is what holds you together through good times and bad.
Yeah.
So I think my wife and I were talking, even when people don't know, I'm not really recognisable, which is, suits us just fine for now. But even when
that won't take long, Adam.
Even when they don't know who you are, then the people in Newcastle are just willing to help you anyway, regardless of, if you have a profile, if you don't. I noticed that, the first day our removalist truck arrived, I was doing some work in at Mayfield at the Knights, came home conveniently after all the furniture had been put in.
Timing.
Typical.
But my wife had the furniture guys fixing lights, doing the pool pump, and, and I've noticed that across the board, just everyone's willing to help. I think when you've... nothing against Sydney or Melbourne people, but I think it brought us back to, how we were brought up in a country community.
The good thing is too, everyone knows, and you yourself taking the gig, I'm sure know, you've got a great roster. It's just about making that roster consistent, and you can get in top 8, no problem next year, can you?
That's the plan.
I know that sounds easier than said than done, but I just mean you've got a good roster. You've got great coaching background. Bellamy, Robinsons, Brad Arthur. You've been around. This is it. This is your time to shine, Adam, as they say, and I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
Yeah, look, I'm not going to be the type of coach that's going to whinge and complain about our roster, because I've got no need to. I've got a really good blend of experience, good blend of youth. Good blend of local youth, which excites me in, obviously Bradman and Stafford and Phoenix. These young guys coming through is exciting. Look, there's clearly a group there that, I'm confident we really lean into this first 6 weeks of pre-season. We get to where we need to get to.
Well, you've come from 2 clubs. Your background is, as we've said, Storm and the Roosters. The difference between the Storm and the Roosters and Newcastle is a little thing called money.
And we're not fans of lattes.
No. You've come from 2 clubs that, had the cash to splash. And Newcastle, well, we're in a bit of a different situation. Thank God for West's that backup there. They came in like the knight on the white charger and saved us all, which was brilliant. But still, they've got to watch the books, and we're not at that level at the moment. So how do you feel about coming to a club where you're going to be accountable for money and it's not endless?
No, look, when I was sort of, making the decision on whether to come to Newcastle, obviously the backing of the West Group was huge for me. Their support, what they've been able to do in the last few seasons since they've got involved is, remarkable. Already they've shown that, their support, I'm talking about Mayfield, there is a centre of excellence to come down the track, but they haven't rested on their laurels and not waiting for that to happen. They've actually done up our facilities at Mayfield, so they've put a lot of time, energy, and money into making the place as comfortable and as effective for the playing group as we can. So already, I feel that support is there, and that weighed heavily on me. That to have such a strong group as the West Group, they're across plenty of businesses, and their expertise and support will be invaluable for me as a first year coach here. So that, I know Melbourne and certainly the Roosters have that stigma of the unlimited sort of money, but Melbourne are privately owned. I'm sure that they're watching the numbers as well. And the NRL's a business. These clubs are business these days. So I'm extremely confident that we're up the pointy end of having good stability in terms of money with the West Group.
And I think that's one thing that needs to lift its game, not just Newcastle, I mean in the entire NRL, is the punters pay, the punters want to know, and they want to hear from you. So you're a regular on the show. You just sign here. Sign there.
That's what he does.
Yeah, sign it. But we'd love that, wouldn't we?
Bulldozers you out.
We'd love to see you more regularly and have a one-on-one with you and get to know, and then the punters are getting to hear what you're thinking as well.
Yeah, look, I understand the nature of being the coach of the Knights, that you need to be, accessible to the community.
Yeah.
At the same time, I need to coach a footy team.
Yeah,
so whether I get in here every day, I think that's why we've got the expertise of Nathan to manage that. But look, I clearly get that I'm, whilst I'm not living right in town, I need to be accessible to the fans.
Great.
And you know what? Isn't it wonderful? The draw came out last week. We have got a home game. It's a Saturday, and it's against the Warriors. So it's a wonderful first opener for you, and I'm glad it's a home game.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really happy with the draw. I think 11 out of the 12, and I could be, don't completely quote me on this, but the 11 out of the 12, weekend, so that's friendly for our regional members and fans to get to those games. I think, obviously the Thursday night games aren't ideal. We're a working class community that need to get their jobs and then pack the kids up and get down to McDonald Jones Stadium is quite difficult on those Thursday nights. It's a school night. So I'm really, really happy that the 11 out of the 12 are, the weekend games, whether it be a Saturday or Sunday. So I'm really, probably the honest answer from a coach is I don't care who we play and when we play, but I'm really happy for those family, the members that we have, that they can get along to the game.
Yeah.
Well, two things, mate. He's part of our show, good friend of ours, Lockie Fitzgibbon. Watch him. He talked himself up. But flog him in pre-season for us because he's been to Bali and he looks like he's had about 20 pies.
You sound like Mark, his father from NIB. He's told me to get stuck into him as well.
Mate. I saw a recent
Come
photo of him.
Oh.
I thought he was going on Biggest Loser or something. Massive.
Stop it.
I can actually, I'll refute that. He's been in training already with a group of 19, and he looks okay.
You're not going to get on with us if you start defending him, mate.
Adam, it's good to have you guys in town. When I say guys, you and your wife. Yep. I know Newcastle is going to make you guys feel very, very welcome.
Absolutely.
Particularly if we get some wins. So good luck.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And no pressure.
Yes, none whatsoever.
It's Daniel and Steve.